Hey Swy, how's it going? It's it's Dr. Diatoms. Just saying. Gonna use my title. Am I out of the woods? I never had the flu. I have a vaccine, so I know I don't have the flu. I just had a cold for a little bit last week. I feel like maybe it was a bit of pollen as well, so it's kind of congested. I already got the light flashing for the battery. Starting off good. It's a Chidoris type of cladoceran. See, it's got its foot extended outside of its shell right there. On the back end. Here, that's the foot. And then it has some other little appendages up here. And the reason I know it's a Chidoris, here it has sort of a pointy beak on the end. It's a Chidoris. It's a type of cladoceran. It's you can see it's got like a little beak here that sticks out the front. And then this is the carapace that its body's inside of. It's just got like a little opening here, and then the kind of two edges are folded together a bit. I think it's spelled with a Y. I think it's Chydorus. It's sort of like related to Bosmina and Daphnia, which are the other two types of Cladocera that are common in lakes. So we've got a nice good look at it. I'm kind of zoomed in on the a bit on the high end of it. Yeah, they're like Daphnia. They just have a slightly different body plan. Daphnia have like basically the same shape. Those big arms like that on the front. At the top, yeah, I think that is its heart pumping like crazy. And I think it's actually trapped between the cover slip and the slide a little bit. I think it's sort of stuck, which may be why it's panicking. I put a cover slip on it because I didn't think there was anything that big in it, actually. But you can see its leg, its intestines. That thing on the front end is its eye. And yeah, I think you're right. That's the heart up here. I think that's pumping like crazy. You see, it's got some swimming appendages on the front end, just like Daphnia do, and it's got the compound eye, pretty much the same way that Daphnia do. It doesn't have the beak, the proboscis. It's got like a little short beak, like a bird has. Bosmina have like long rostrum that come down from the beak, and they're usually a little smaller, but they have more or less the same body plan. Hey Del, how's it going? I got it's a Chidorus of some type. I don't know the genus, but it's in the same, I think, group as the thing that you call a Acroporus. The Chidorus are, I don't know, let's see, this is a 20x, and then I don't have any extra additional magnification on it, so it's about 180 times, something like that, 150 times magnification. So, you know, to give you some idea of the size. I still haven't put the stage micrometer on my stage so I could calculate the exact sizes of my scales with the camera. Let's see. I think I had it open a second ago for the Chidorus. Chidorus. There you go. It's not 3 feet long. It's very small. It's the size of a tiny little silk grain, basically. And Kaidora the Explorer. I think it should be Explorer. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. I bumped it over to the 5x magnification. I shouldn't use the delayed screen to try to figure out what the what's in focus. I need to go back to my OBS screen. Here we go. It looks actually a little bright. Let me see if I can fix that. This thing probably. It's the easiest way to do that. Oh, too far. And then put this back in. Maybe I can tweak it a little. Nope, that doesn't help. Helps if it's part way in. There. I guess I could just do it with my camera. Take a little off of it. That's the easiest way. I do think it's a little pinch between the glasses, the slide and the cover slip, but there's no weight on it, so it's just the cover slip weight, and I think it can't lift it. So Rookie, it's sitting still because it. I think it's sitting still because it can't really lift the cover slip off, and the water's dried a little bit since I put the water on initially. So it's just hanging out between the slide and the cover slip. And when I first put it on, it was kicking around like crazy, and I couldn't get it to sit still. But I think it actually went to an area where the cover slip was sort of pinched in a little bit, and then it got stuck itself. So, all right, I'm gonna switch off of dark field back to the normal way that we view things here, which is differential interference contrast. I gotta put all the gear back together here. Hang on. It'll give you a different view of it. Also, it would help if I took off all the darkness I put on it. There we go. It's a pretty clear view of the organism. And if we wanted, oops, I could figure out how to control my camera. We could still zoom in a little bit. Good news, everyone! Hey, Rookie. Thank you for the follow. There, you can get a good sense of its little beak and its compound eye. You see, it has these little, hang on a second, I do have an arrow. It just takes me a while to use. It's probably a little smaller than a sea monkey. Maybe about the same size. I mean, we're at 10x, so let's see. Oh, there's no reticle in here. Something just flew by my screen as well. If I had to give you an estimate on the size, I would say it's probably like 2 millimeters, something like that. A millimeter or two. Something's flying around the outside of it. There's these little light colored specks right here. It has like a compound set of eyes. Daphnia have the same thing. And it's like a bunch of little eyes around one big eye hole opening. And the little eyes are like light sensors mostly that it sees with. And they use those for trying to tell how far offshore they are, because they can tell from the angle of the light, basically, that it makes with the water, how close they are to the shoreline, and they use that to basically stay like away from the very shore. This foolish one, however, was trapped up in some of the macrophytes on the shoreline. Is the brown stuff food? Well, all of it's food to the right organism. Yeah, it's probably things it's eaten, though. You can see that's sort of its digestive tract right there. Yeah, they need it for their GPS for sure. Hey, Open Set, how you doing? Looky, Open Set. Look at this. Boom. Huh? Huh? I've got an Open Set command. I've got an everyone command right now. Like, you name it. I added one for like everybody. Well, everybody who comes here regularly that I could remember. So, we'll still add some more. Yeah, I should just do one that's everyone. Oh, it's pooping a little. There you go. It's a poop stream. Yeah, it didn't come up with an everyone command, but, you know. If I did one that was everyone and then it spammed every person in my list, that would be great. What are the tiny things buzzing around on the slide? That's a good question. I've been busy looking in my at my chat window, and I missed the little things buzzing around. So I know there are some in here. A bunch of little different types of things that keep swimming by this guy. I've seen them pass by a few times, just kind of cruising around it in circles. Some of them are like this little guy is a ciliate. The one in the middle there is kicking around with the debris. That's a ciliate. He's got little cilia on the top of his head that you can see very easily. There they are, when he's not hiding under piles of junk. What microscope is he using? Well, tell your daughter I've got a command for that. Yeah, so that one's a ciliate. I don't think that was buzzing around. I did see some things go swimming by pretty hard, though. Oh, look. This is the old pediastrum right there. They're like little kaleidoscope-shaped green algae. Didn't realize that was in here. They usually have two little horn-like bumps, and then I need my arrow. So hard not using an arrow. These two little bumps go to one cell, these two bumps go to the next cell, these two bumps go to the next cell, and they make a colony, and they just grow each one with two little bumps on it like that. Oh, it used to be green algae? Cool. This one's cracked open a little bit. Normally they're not broken open rings. And then this stuff here in the middle that's cutting through everything, that is Spirogyra for sure. And there's also some Cladophora, which is the stuff that doesn't have the spiral-shaped chloroplasts in it. Now I'm trying to see if we can find whatever it was that was buzzing around and see if we can make it sit still for a second. When I looked at the sample yesterday briefly because I collected it. There's a little tiny guy, a ciliate. I collected it while I was out taking photos of big things, not little things. And there's one. That's a rotifer. So if that's one of your little guys right there, that's a rotifer. He's gonna hit a barricade. Oh, he snuck under it. See, he's got two little tail, or they're actually toes. Let's see if we can get him to sit still long enough that I can zoom in. Back. There we go. There you go. You can. Oh, it's too much space for this guy. Not enough space for the little guy. For the big guy, I mean. Get back here. Get back here, rotifer. There we go. So I'm not sure if that was the guy that was buzzing around, but that's a rotifer. And that's the ciliate that we were looking at earlier. Right there, you can see the little cilia. He's going up. He hit the air bubble. There's another little guy right there in the middle. Jumped around. That's a heterotrophic nanoflagellate, I think. You haven't seen Spyrogyra since Combined Science in the mid-1980s? Well, I'm here to bring it to you. Oops, there, he showed right back up in here. That's nice of him. I don't have to chase him. It's a lot easier to chase him if I zoom out. Just gonna pop that. Oh, you can see the rotifer still in the field of view as well. Oh, was it a gastrotrick? I think that's a ciliate. I wish it was a gastrotrick. I saw a gastrotrick in a different sample. I think that one was a ciliate. But I love gastrotricks as well. They're so fun. They're such cute little guys. I think that one was a ciliate. I think this one's a rotifer in there. Yeah, I think those are ciliates. I can see little cilia around them. And the other day, Del, we had... I think that's a clusterium right there. In the middle. Way out there.
Good news, everyone!
You love that I'm out here doing this. Well, I like doing it too. Oh my god, face area! What? She came in with a giant raid too. 265 viewers. How are you doing, Faye? Welcome to the stream. Today we're looking at stuff in the microscope.
Everyone.
You know, sorry I'm not playing music, but I don't do music very well. I just play bass guitar, to be honest, and it makes makes for pretty poor music streaming. But we did find this Kydoris right here.
Good news, everyone.
Just kicking around in the sample. It's alive, and here's what it looks like when you get really close
Good news,
to it.
everyone.
When you get really close to it, it looks like this. That thing in the top up there, I think that's its heart beating. And it's a little stuck.
Good news, everyone.
It's a little stuck in between the slide glass and the top. He's so cute,
Good
isn't he?
news, everyone.
Yeah, he's alive. We find their carapace all the time in these samples as well. Oh, thank you for all the follows, by the way.
Good news,
and
everyone.
Also, yeah, it's we're calling it Kydoris the Explorus. That's her name. She's not doing a very good job of exploring right now because I've taken that away from her. But yeah, how was your stream, Faye? Did you play anything? You know what? I always want to I want to make you play a song that I like when I come in there, but your requests are either full or, you know, or I feel like it'd be weird to make you play a song. Maybe I'll send you a message on a song I'd like you to play sometime. But I think I have some songs I think you'd do a great job with. So, hey, Pacific Plankton's here as well. Really, I'm just the warm-up stream for Pacific Plankton. She's coming up later. So if you like this, imagine it in Darkfield, which it looks kind of like this in Darkfield. Oops, looks exactly like this in Darkfield, actually. Hang on. I gotta fix the polarizers. There we go. Now I just need to make it a little bit brighter. Whoop. There it is in Darkfield. And we can zoom up to the next magnification. We get a real pretty view of it. Let's see. Get rid of that glow.
Good news, everyone.
So this is a type of cladoceran, and I'm calling it Chidoris. I think it's Chidoris. We're calling it Chidoris the Explorus. Hang on a second. I'm going to pull up Pacific Plankton and show you with my arrow. That's its heart right there, I think. And you can see it's got swimming appendages. It uses those to pull itself around in the water. That's a compound eye that it has, and then it's got like a big foot back here that sticks out the bottom. This is the carapace. This is the actual like external skeleton. And then you can see it's like internal body parts in here, right? So
good news,
we were watching it a little bit earlier. It took a poop, so. Hey, mind of the snail. Why don't I have... Oh, can somebody give Fizzaria a shout out?
Good news, everyone!
I mean, it's mostly her people here, so I'm sure they know, but I got so many mods in the channel right now, somebody should be able to do it. Also, I gotta add one for Faye still, but I've got this, boom, Mind of a Snail, special Mind of a Snail command now. So, yeah, so we're looking at this little guy. I thought the sample was going to be super boring, but it actually has some cool stuff in it, so. Yeah, don't mind the battery thing. I've got more batteries. It always, you know, it starts off flashing because I didn't change it from when I first started, and then it goes dead for a second. I put another battery in, and then it's fine. It's just there. It's making you feel and it's sending some sort of a sense of doom, but there's no real doom coming. It'll be okay. We'll all be all right. You don't need to worry about it. All right, I'm gonna put the polarizers back in. And we're gonna look around a little bit more. How's that sound? This guy's not going anywhere. That's its foot back there. Also,
good news, everyone!
I think it poops out there. So I think I saw some poop come out that hole right there. So, if you're wondering. Oh, you're worried about the lack of doom? Watch this though, huh? MRSJ, boom. Huh? That's how we roll around here. Alright, that's a diatom right there. If you're coming to the channel expecting to see diatoms, feel fulfilled. There's one right there, this little tiny guy. There he is. It's, I'm gonna go with Cymbella. Probably Cymbella. Poop shoot. Yeah. Everybody poops. That's not true. Almost everybody poops. There's these worms that live in the hydrothermal vents, and they don't poop. They don't eat. They don't eat or poop. Kind of crazy. think that's a piece of a rotifer. That's like the tail's missing, its carapace is still there, and then it's got like something inside of it, so it could be eggs, I don't know. Not an expert on those things. Do parasites poop? Most of them, yeah. I just disproved your oldest held belief. I apologize. I am a scientist, and accuracy is important to me. So what I would suggest is you say everybody poops, and then when you do it, I recommend you either cross your fingers, which invalidates it, apparently, or just make a sign of an asterisk. And then if somebody asks you about the asterisk, you tell them there's these worms, you know, that live in the hydrothermal vents in the ocean, and they don't poop. They don't poop or eat. They just, they've got endosymbiotic relationships with bacteria that make food for them, and it doesn't, it's just straight nutrients into their body. They don't poop. This is a diatom. This is dead, but it's what used to be called Rhopalodia. This is now called epithemia. Oh, I don't want to explain this and let you down, mind of a snail, but not everybody dies either. I got news. There's some things that don't die. Quite a few things, actually, that don't die at all. I mean, they get eaten. It's not like they're immortal, but they're immortal in the sense that if something doesn't eat them or kill them, they will continue living forever. So, also false. Yeah. I did a whole lecture on immortal stuff. There's a bunch of immortal organisms. One of them we might see in here, actually. It is the amoeba. Amoebas are immortal, believe it or not. It's just, you're probably confused about what immortal means. So you probably saw amoebas when you were a kid, looking at something in the microscope in school. That's Spirogyra, by the way. That's an algae. This is where my two cover slips join. I put two cover slips on this one, so I spilled a bunch of water on it. You know, amoeba,
Good news, everyone!
They split in half. They do something called binary fission, where there's one and now there's two. But it's like Doctor Who when that happens. They just regenerate, and if you think about it, you had one organism, now you have two organisms, and neither of them gets any older. They both start over, and then those ones can split, and those ones can split, and amoebas don't die. They just keep splitting. So yeah, eternal, I guess, is the way that I guess you would call them, not immortal. Because they are mortal. I mean, they could die. So eternal is probably the better word. But we think of it as immortality, right? Flatworms as well. Hydra. Del can tell us all about Hydra, for example. They're immortal. Hydra and flatworms are crazy. You can chop a flatworm up into, I think it's like 128 pieces. And what it makes is 128 flatworms. You can't kill them. They just, it doesn't matter what you do. You can chop them up in the smallest pieces you can think of, and it just makes more flatworms. They just regenerate their entire bodies from the part that you chopped off. You chop off a little piece, now you've got two flatworms. Hydra are the same way. Basically, you can put them in a blender, and then it just regrows from the cells back to a Hydra.
Hey, Maui,
Hey, I got a subscription. A gift subscription to Visaria. Aw, thank you. Oh, what's the rod? That's a diatom right there. Sorry, rookie, I was trying to read and do a bunch of things at once. Life is beyond understanding. I'm with you, Henry. It's confusing, and I'm sorry to be able to be the bearer of bad news who tells you all the things you learned about life are wrong, but it's not true that everybody poops, and it's not true that everybody dies. And you know what? Not everybody even pays their taxes.
Good news, everyone!
Taxes also aren't some things. Some people don't pay their taxes. So I'm just saying, we just need to worry about absolutes because usually they're wrong. Hey, this is a that's a golden algae right there. Denobrian. It's a little colony. They're all dead, but that's a colony of algae right there. That's their skeletons. Denobrian. Those are cool. And these little things that look like zippers, those are diatoms. Those are diatoms right there. Yeah, you can see they've got chloroplasts in them still. Every one of those little squares is a diatom. They're living in colonies zippered together. You know, now you got all the cool emotes, Visaria. You can spam those emotes, you know? That's the best part about getting that subscription is you can do these things. Get the good ones. All it took was one raid. Oh, here's another one of these little guys. This one's smaller and it's a little less it's a little more spazzed out. This guy's a lot smaller. And I think it's free to move around. Hang on, let me get the focus. It's, I think that's a different species. You can see it's got the same parts. It's still a Chidorus. There's its heart. Here's its little intestine part. It's got little feet down here. That's its head. It's got like a little beak-shaped head. And there's its eye. And it lives inside of a carapace. It looks like a jelly bean. Chidorus. Yeah, it's got a tiny little heart that's beating. It's cute. I'm gonna, maybe when I'm done with the sample, I'll release it into my koi pond and give it a couple of moments of life so that hopefully my fish won't eat it though. It has innards. I hope so. You should release an album called Tiny Heart. Huh. Yeah. That sounds like a good name for an album. Why is it twitching? That's its foot kicking through. It's got like a I think of them like a clam, except for it doesn't open very far. It opens just a little bit, and its legs stick out that hole. And the spine of the clamshell would be like
Good news, everyone!
back here. And so it's open on this edge, and then its head is here, and then it's closed around the backside of its spine. And it's got a little slit that's open right through here. And that's where the legs stick out. And why is it twitching? I don't know. It's planning on moving, probably. Maybe it's thinking about trying to find some place to go. What's cool about this, I don't know if you noticed this. I'm sure if Dell was here, he would have seen it. Here on its butt. Look at that. It's got a little ciliate living on its butt. You see it? Little hairs are spinning and stuff. You see that? It's attached right to its butt. That's not part of that organism. That's a different organism right there. This thing? That's attached. It's living, it's a ciliate, and it's living on the outside of this guy. It's getting a ride, it's a free ride. It's a hitchhiker, and it has little cilias that are ciliae that are right here. And it funnels the particles in towards its mouth when it spins them. You see these little particles? Oop, they go towards its mouth and then they spin around and come back around. It's eating that, and you can see its little digestion going on in here as it pulls some of those particles in. Just eating little bits of bacteria and whatnot that get funneled into its mouth. It has a butt propeller. A Klingon. That's a good way of thinking of it, Henry. Its heart rate seems really fast. Yeah, Saturn, littler things have faster heart rates. I don't think it's... Maybe it's a little panicked, but I doubt it. I think that's just the rate that their heart runs at. I mean, if you ever look at a mouse, heart rate on a mouse is like super fast. And if you look like an elephant, their heart rate's super slow. So things with hearts, it's just like that. The bigger you get, the faster, or the slower your heart beats. And the smaller you are, the faster it goes. I mean, that's just how it works. That's pretty normal. It's not a parasite, Mitch. It's probably commensal. It's probably not harming the Chidoris at all. So it's. I mean, maybe it slows it down a little, but it's probably just it doesn't bother it. It's like barnacles in a whale, basically. It may be symbiotic. There's some, well, I mean, like, parasite's a type of symbiosis, so yes, it's a symbiote. But, do you mean, is it like mutually beneficial symbiotes? No, probably not. Although there's some evidence to suggest maybe some things that grow on these can increase their oxygen levels and stuff like that. It's probably just like, you know, not hurting anything, but also not helping anything. Yeah, like a remora. And sometimes they're just freeloaders, basically. They get some benefit, but it doesn't really hurt the other organism. It's kind of like that. There's not a lot on there. Sometimes you'll get these really big ones. You can see it's got a bunch of little hairs. You can see there's just one on the whole outside end. Sometimes you get these really big copepods and stuff. Like if you watch Dell's strain, he regularly pulls out these big copepods and they're just covered with Epistylus and other types of organisms like this. Yeah, eyelash mites. They don't hurt anything. They don't help anything. Does it glue itself on, or is it a gripper? You know, I'm not sure how they hold on. They probably got some goo that comes out the stick end.
Good news, everyone!
It's probably like glue. It probably functions a little bit like glue anyway. So, thank you for the follow, Mitchie. And also, thanks again for giving Faye the subscription. Butt teeth. Goo is always the answer. The stick end. It's a cool little guy. I'm surprised it hasn't just started swimming around like crazy. When I first put this on, it was like jumping around. Maybe it can't move. Let's go look around. We'll go explore. We're gonna explore for some more. See what we come up with in here. So... oh, that's interesting. That's a diatom, and it's living. It's a little Calanese. That only means something to me and maybe Pacific Plankton and maybe Dell, but it's a type of diatom. Oh, the battery finally went out too. Hang on. All that tension's finally relieved. I can do that, and then that, and then I think we're back. Yeah, no problem. Now you don't have to worry about it. All that additional stress you had wondering when the battery was gonna go, it went. We're good now. You'd jump around if you had a butt monster? Well, I mean, I bet you'd get used to the butt monster. I'm just saying, like... Oops. Quit giving me recommendations and just zoom out. Okay, let's go looking around for something. That's a diatom, by the way. If you don't know what a diatom is, they're a type of golden or golden brown algae, depending on who you're subscribing to. And they can crawl around, which is pretty unusual for most algae. Not all of them, just some of them, like that guy. A lot of them are plankton and they just sit there. Ooh, what is this? He's got a little flagella. You see its little whippy tail flashing around? I'm not sure what that is. It could be a dinoflagellate. It does look like it's rolling around the middle part of its body. It's really small if it's a dinoflagellate. Are fossilized diatoms found in inland seas? Yes. Henry, fossilized diatoms are found everywhere. Hey, we got another raid. We got 2 raids. I've never had 2 raids in the same day that I remembered. Thank you.
Good news, everyone.
I have a new raid. I don't know if it'll show up yet. Oh yeah, I got a little diatom raid emote I made. Hey Rin, thank you for the raid. We're looking at stuff in the microscope for a bit, and then I had a little bit of spare time, and I finished with most of my work for the week already, if you can believe that. I've got I don't know, I don't think this one is stuck. It's an adventure raid.
Good news, everyone.
You're on an adventure and so are we. So welcome aboard. It's kind of playing along with the music pretty nicely though. What's crawling in the background? Oh, it's a diatom. You like the way this one swims? Hey, Pragmatic. How's it going? We're just looking at some pond sample that I have. Yeah, thanks for sending the shout out, Pacific Plankton. Gotta go reboot your PC and prepare yourself. Okay. Prepare yourself. Oh yeah, you have a stream too, right? You're gonna do games tonight, right, Del? Alright, thanks for hanging out with us. Does the focusing onto an organism affect the organism? I don't think so. It will make the water a little warmer, though. You're right about that, Robert. It does have, the light will heat up the water a little bit, and in some cases it can be a lot. Oh, you're gonna do sailing with the wife? Okay. It sounds like fun. We're gonna sail around in our sample a little bit. Let's see what else we can find. Sorry, I need to zoom back out so you guys aren't like lost with the crazy camera work. Oh, there's a little rotifert. Just crawling up and down that same little stretch of land. Spirogyra. How you doing tonight, Pragmatic? We are, like I said, I'm almost done with all my work for the week. I got grading left to do, and I have to like deliver lectures, but that's it. That's like an easy week for me. Oh, I also got to come up with a a geocaching exercise. I keep forgetting. I don't want to wait till do that till Thursday, or I'm going to be running around campus like a crazy person again. But most of my work for the week is done, and that means I can play a little bit. Can kind of relax a little bit. And this weekend, the temperature started to go back up. It's almost like 70 degrees out today, something like that. It's a little windy, but it's starting to feel a bit like summer. And as a result, I'm feeling like not doing anything, you know? Like just relaxing just a little bit. So I've been working hard. Oh, here's the skeleton of one of those little guys like we were looking at. Carabrid. Sorry, not Cabrid, a Kaidoris skeleton.
Good news, everyone!
And thank you for the follow, Brad.
Good news, everyone!
District, how you been? You know what? If you guys like Microscope stuff, while I have a bunch of Microscope people here, I'm just gonna give out my old squad command, and then you should just follow all those people. I mean, all the people I shout out you should follow, but you should also follow those people if you like Microscope stuff. Haven't seen District 10 in a while. Have I ever added any mild electric charges to see the reactions? No. That does sound entertaining. Only the undergrads. No, maybe. I grabbed your attention away from this game. Okay, what game was it? Yeah, I'm not usually a person who's done with work, but I'm a little tired from this semester and I've got a lot of work. I actually want to play a little bit so I can go back doing research a bit. So, hey Jolkson. Also in that list is Jolkson. You should follow Jolkson as well. He's streaming on here regularly with Microscope stuff now. He's just got like, he or she, I don't know if it's, I'll just call him they. They're on here regularly streaming. Sorry, I didn't mean to misgender. And then you should definitely follow Jolkson. Yeah. Oh, you gave out a bunch of individual ones too. You bought a house, I remember that. And you've been going hard with it. Okay, good. It's nice, you know, when you, that's what I like about the Twitch community. It's just, you know, I got to know everybody that's hangs out regularly in here. Got a bunch of great people, a bunch of fun streamers, and you get to interact with them, you know? I've been on Twitch for just a little while now. I started in August, basically. And so, less than a year. I'll have to go through the summer before it will be a year. There's a little guy. And I met a whole bunch of great people. Look at all the little tiny hairs it's using to sort of scoot around with. Oh, sorry, it went behind a pile of junk, like they usually do when I zoom in on them. You can come out now. Eight months and 22 hours. Dang. That's a long follow. Albion Online. I haven't played that game. Yeah. I was wondering where you've been, actually, District 10. I was going over my list of people who had Microscope stuff, and I was like, where's he been? Look at you guys. You guys are like old vets. I want Pacific Plankton to show hers, because I think, or Dell, because I think they were like 1, 2, and 3 on my follower list, so they'll tell you exactly how long I've been doing this. Old bats. Yeah. You old friends. Can't can't live without them. I saw you guys last night on your stream, Mind of a Snail. You were wearing goatees and stuff. It was hilarious. I don't know if you meant it to be funny, but somewhat convincing, actually. I think you could pass it. I think you could pass. Came down to it. If you were maybe a little less macho acting. No, I was there for most of it. I was watching some other people play a game at the same time. I was just bouncing back and forth, and I had to have my sound off, so I couldn't hear what was going on, but I was watching. Bouncing over to see what was going on. Silly it. 8 months and 22 days. It's pretty close. Diatoms and Dragons is on Wednesday. I wish I had, I kind of wish I had a Dungeons and Dragons team I could play with. Also wish I had time to do that. What's this thing? What's going on right here? I need somebody to tell me what this is. What the heck? What's going on with this crazy thing? It's moving. Its insides are moving. I can't tell, is it just bacteria going nuts inside of it or what? These bearded dudes on Twitch, okay. Yo, Pacific Plankton, you gotta get your stuff set up. You only got a half hour before your stream starts. Talkst of fish. Talkst of fish. Talkstofish. It's cool to see a scientist in this space. Thank you. I like being in this space. It's my regular space. This is my office. And this is my microscope, so it's actually fun for me to share it with you guys. It's one of my favorite things to do when I'm not super busy doing science stuff. It does look like a party in there, doesn't it? I think it's Bring Your Own Bacteria Day. Like when I ask what stuff is. I got news for you. I don't know what everything is in this sample. Also, we're looking at stuff at 20x still. I need to zoom out. And then I'm going to zoom out some more. It's like we're double close. I'm going to turn this up a little. Sometimes I don't know what it is we're looking at, so... here's the thing. When you get really good at some things, you realize there's a lot of things you're not very good at, and it's okay. It's like everybody has something that they specialize in. And, you know, if I put on a diatom and then I'm like, hey, I don't know what this diatom is, then I feel like you could make fun of me for that. Because it's kind of my thing. But this other stuff, I'm just learning like you guys sometimes. I got news for you though. We found an amoeba. I bet you didn't think that was amoeba, but it is. Watch its little legs start to move. It's a testate amoeba, and they're beautiful. We're gonna be here a while because they're super slow. So it's just like a regular amoeba, except for this one has a house. And it carries its house along with it. And you know what it's doing, besides living forever. You know what it's doing. Looking for food. No, those legs. Oh my kind of a snail. Yeah, it's on a mission. It's gonna go eat something. It's a hunter, like all amoebas. It's a predator, and it's looking for something to chew on. It's gonna find it with those little legs, and then it's just gonna pull it inside and subsume it. Realization that this entire sample can fit on your tongue. Oh, it can. If you put it on there, most of the things that we've looked at are silt-sized, and it's definitely smaller than your tongue. I mean, I don't know what your tongue's shaped like. I'm assuming if you have a normal tongue, though. I think my daughter's kid-sized tongue probably could host all of this stuff, so. What is its house made of? So testate amoeba will make their house out of little bits of agglutinated particles that glues them together. Usually they're debris. Sometimes they're diatoms and diatoms valves, or anything it finds in its environment that's small and it can glue it in, it will glue it in. And then it will just attach them into the house. I mean, how baller is that? It's an amoeba, it eats things, and then it decorates its house with the skeletons of the things it ate. You know? Like, rah, I'm just gonna slap a couple more bones of this thing up here. And then it uses it to hide in, so other things can't eat it. In a little castle made of bones and dirt. Let's see what it looks like in Darkfield. See if I can get a Darkfield view of it for us. I'm gonna open this gate so you can see stuff. And then, oh, we could actually see the little bits and stuff that the skeleton is made, the house is made of here. See the little bits and pieces of things? They're all glued in. And let's see, I need to go. Sorry. I realized I need to zoom out so it would get bright again. And now it's a little too bright. Make an adjustment. There we go. Now you can see this sort of pieces of things. They're all glued in there. And how far away its legs are from the top of this thing is kind of tall. Do those come from their prey? Sometimes. Sometimes they're just bits and pieces of things they find, I think. So, sorry about the brightness. It's my fault. I should have zoomed out first. It looks like it's moving this pile of junk. So I need to fix it again. Hang on. Going to Darkfield's a lot of work. There we go. And now it's dragging it around. I don't know if that's on purpose. I think it's on accident. It's got a trailer on its home now. I think I just wrote the lyrics for Tiny Heart. Excellent. I love it when I accidentally write lyrics. Amoeba is a college artist. Maybe it's making something. Maybe it's gonna build something out of this. I don't know. You can see the little legs are poking out. I think maybe it's just also stuck on it. I don't know, something swam under there. If I were that little guy, I would be worried. Because when one of those legs comes over, it's going in. Oops, sorry. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Click, click, click. Here we go. Alright, let's actually leave the little amoeba alone for a bit. I see roughly where we are. Hopefully we can get back to him. My guess is he's not going anywhere real fast, so we won't miss him. Also, I think that I saw some other ones in here, so even if he is... Look, this guy's still here. Heart's still beating. But teeth are still doing their thing. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting about the magnification. Let's see. Super edgy. Something just brushed my leg. The little fellow with the flagella. Oh yeah, the little guy with the flagella. He's living on the edge for sure. He's like, I'm just gonna power my way around this thing, whatever it is. I saw that the other night. I saw these really cool Lecromeria that were like, and one of them snagged something, and I was like, whoa. Just got too close to it. Alright. Oh, there's a little guy. So if you are new to the stream, oh, there's a conjugating algae. If you're new to the stream and this is your first time checking out Microscope streaming, as I mentioned, Julkson's in here, Vizaria's in here. There's another one. That's a different one. It's bigger, and it's in a different place. It's not dragging around a little trailer with it. It's got a bunch of legs sticking out one of the holes. That's crazy. It's like a hand. Have a great stream. Off to get some food. Thank you for the raid, Rin, and thanks for bringing your people in. And I hope you had a good stream and get some food. It's important that you eat. I know how it feels after your stream, just like ready to give up on watching other people. So thanks for hanging out as long as you did, actually. The little organisms that move quickly in the background are probably heterotrophic nanoflagellates. There's a bunch of little flagellates that live in these things, or they're like cryptomonads, little tiny. Sometimes there's bacteria. If you're looking at the really, really small stuff, it's probably bacteria. Let's see. I'm going to jump over to 20x for a second. And then I can back off of the digital zoom a little. And then we can zoom out a bit. Here, that's a nice middle ground view. It's got all of its little creepy legs going. What's the sleep to awake ratio? Yeah, the little dots in the background that you're talking about, Robert, those are probably bacteria. Sleep to awake ratio. I mean, for like an amoeba, I don't think they sleep. Or if they do, it's pretty uncommon. I don't think that little tiny microorganisms really sleep. I think they rest. So maybe that's equivalent to sleeping in a way. Yeah. does have like a crater right there in the side of the shell. Like it needs to repair. It needs to do some home repair, you know? I think it's that time of the year. It's spring. And maybe something big crashed through the roof. Or, you know, it's got like a starling problem. And it's gonna have to eat some diatoms and stick some skeletons in there. Because I think you're right, it does have a hole where it shouldn't have one. Did it kill something? I mean, it's probably been pulling in bacteria the whole time we've been talking. I don't know. Is everybody just always on? Not everything. Some of them are... I guess they probably rest or whatever at night. I know, like, some of the larger the organisms get, the more likely they are to sleep. I don't think amoeba sleep, though. I mean, maybe they just eat and then digest food for a while and go into sort of a resting state. Pseudopod are crazy. Did they decide where to go? What's happening right now? Is it trying to pull that giant thing into its self? Is that what's going on? It's trying to... Maybe it wants to use that for repairs. It barfed. It could be. You know, if they... the hole where the stuff comes in is the hole where the stuff goes out for these things. For most cases, they don't have like complicated intestines or anything. So if it ate something and then it needed to get rid of it, maybe it spit it out.
Good news, everyone!
I don't know. Punch alley Orbans. Punchally Orbans. Punchally. Welcome in. It looks bedraggled. It does look like its house looks like it's a little ramshackle. I think you're right about that. It does look a little ramshackle. Yeah, maybe it spit out the part of the roof that collapsed. Maybe it's like, bleh, this doesn't need to be in here. I'm just gonna have to rebuild. You know. Home Depot for amoebas. Exactly. Now we're all invested in this one amoeba. I feel like it's hard to move, but we need to look around some more, probably. I've got like 10 minutes before Pacific Plankton stream starts, and then we're gonna raid her. So it's just a short little stream I'm doing tonight. I thought I wanted to get a stream in, and it seemed like it was a good decision. Oh, look at this little thing. I don't know what that is. Also, I saw something go shooting out over this direction. Like super fast. It's diatoms? We should zoom back out. Yeah, there's a bunch of little bacteria in there, in the background. Oh, it's probably this little guy. That's a ciliate. Yeah, you can see his little hair sticking off of his face and his tail. That's a little ciliate. He almost got something right there. It went shooting off the other way too.
Good news, everyone!
Fidget D, thank you for the follow. Eventually the sun goes nova and we all get baked. I think tardigrades would still get killed in that scenario. I think their maximum temperature is like 300 degrees. And only for like 10 minutes or so. Oh, that's the the air bubble coming in, creeping in. There's another Kaidoris. That one didn't make it. And this is where we are. Alright, we went all the way to the one edge. I'm gonna zoom all the way back to the other slide. And we will go visit with the... See the air bubbles coming in over here as well? Just creeping in. Everywhere. That's, again, because the... I don't know what that little guy is. Because the lens makes the water heat up and then it evaporates a little bit faster as a result. Oh! It's a lacrimaria. I'm sure of it. Look at its crazy head. It's gonna start stretching its crazy head all over the place now. Oh no! The air bubble's coming after it. Run! You're going the wrong way! Yeah, that's the air bubble coming after you, bro. Get out of there. Oh no! Yeah, it's like a Loch Ness Monster a little bit. Super long head. And they can stretch their necks out super long and go grab stuff. It's unfortunate the air bubble got it. Hey, Mama Bon Bon, how you doing? We found a lacrimaria again, another one, and this one got captured by an air bubble. Unfortunately, it was getting ready to entertain us, and then the bubble came.
Good news, everyone!
Guy311, thank you for the follow.
Good news, everyone!
Angie Pizarro, thank you for the follow as well. Part of my entertainment is learning how to say people's crazy names on Twitch. Boy, the air bubble's coming in all directions now. Oh, there's a little Euglena. Eventually the air bubble gets everything. And I'm gonna have to... Not sure what that is either. Some sort of insect skeleton. I'm gonna have to dump this one back into... Oh no! That looks like our Kaidoris, but it doesn't look like it's alive anymore. I think maybe the air bubble got to it. Probably I should... Oh, there's another lacrimaria. Excellent. Alright, we'll watch this for a little bit. You can see its crazy long neck. Oh, maybe it's not a lacrimaria. Let's see how long its neck grows. I think it is. See how long its neck is? can stretch their necks out super long. Like this is just hardly even close to the limit. They're like really long ribbon-like necks that just stretch out. Yeah, the black line is the water bubble, air bubble line. Okay, it says, thanks for not being just another coding game developer stream in science and technology. Thank you. Well, I'm happy to be able to show you something different. We always have something interesting going on in this channel. On Wednesday, I'll be streaming from the Scanning Electron Microscope too. And I might be back on, I don't know, in the evenings this week again as well. I'm having fun doing night streams from my microscope and finding some more samples and looking at some cool stuff, so just been doing this pretty regularly. Noodly, yeah, it's got like a super long neck. And the other day, one of my viewers was in here and I mentioned it was a Lacrimaria, and they asked me, what happens if its head gets chopped off? And I was like, I don't know, I think it dies if its head gets chopped off. But it turns out it doesn't. And they suggested that it can be decapitated and it will just regrow its head. These ones do that. If you were to chop off its head, it would just regrow it. And pretty quickly too, like in a matter of a couple of hours, it would just get a new head. Pretty cool trick. Good way to convince your kids to floss. Maybe. Let's see, Dell is on. He's in science and technology. I don't know what that means. Oh, he's doing microscope stuff pre-game. I think I'm gonna wait till Pacific Plankton starts and then we're gonna raid her, which should be soon, in a matter of a minute or two if she's on time. So hopefully she will be. And then I'm gonna take our sample and I'm gonna put it back in the water that it came from so that our other little Chidoris might live. We'll see. Oh, here comes a rotifer. There's something else in that pile. I'm not sure what it is. I can see stuff wiggling around in there. Alright, so I want to say thanks for hanging out with me. The short little stream. Like I said, I'll be back on Wednesday. I might be back tomorrow night as well. I don't know, I've been streaming on Tuesday nights kind of consistently for a while now. You have to go sleep? Oh, you got your vaccination? Excellent. And if you're enjoying this, honestly, you should check out these other people in my little Microscope squad. Oops, helps if I'm typing into the right thing. Here's a whole list of people who stream using microscopes under various conditions. Pacific Plankton's about to come on. She streams on Monday night starting around midnight my time. She's on the Pacific, obviously. And she looks at live plankton from San Francisco Bay. And, oh! Paleontologizing finally snuck in with a raid. I'd been avoiding his raids for the longest time.
Good news, everyone!
And here he is sneaking in. He was getting ready to go raid to a Pacific Plankton. Now I'm gonna have to hang out for a little while, so you got your revenge.
Good news, everyone!
Thank you for the raid, paleontologizing. I made something right here.
Good news, everyone!
I think that's it. Oh, yeah, look at that. I got a command for it.
Good news, everyone!
I made a paleontologizing command for my bot.
Good news, everyone!
So it's easier for me to send out my shoutouts. This little guy we're looking at is Lacrimaria, and they are a ciliate in ponds, and their heads can just keep stretching out as long as they, pretty much indefinitely from what I've seen. It does look a little bit like a dinosaur. One of those marine dinosaurs. Oh no! Another raid! Oh, Mr. Horologist, thank you for the raid. I'm having crazy raid night all of a sudden.
Good news, everyone!
This is the 4th raid in a row. I showed up at the right time for everybody to get tired. We're looking at a sample from
Good news, everyone!
Hawthorne Park. And I'm just following this little Lacrimaria around. Oh, and there's a little ciliate. That's another little ciliate that's sort of busted in. That thing that's in the middle of the screen right now, there's, let's see.
Good news, everyone!
I got an arrow. That's a diatom. That's Spirogyra. This is Lacrimaria. And this thing that keeps poking its head in over here is, I think, Euploides.
Good news, everyone!
Another type of... Oh, we're getting all of them coming in here. Hang on. That's a rotifer.
Good
Right
news,
there.
everyone!
That's a ciliate, and this up here is the one we've been following. That's the Lacrimaria. It's also a ciliate. These are all freshwater microorganisms.
Good news, everyone!
I have not made a shout out for Mr. Horologist yet. I'll work on that. So I'll just have to do it manually.
Good news, everyone!
Like a caveman. Thank you for the raid. And also for paleontologizing.
Good news, everyone!
There's so much stuff going on right now.
Good news, everyone!
Well, they make you sick if they get inside you. Well, step 1, don't put them inside of you. Step 2, it's likely to kill them, but probably won't hurt you.
Good news, everyone!
Claireburr, hello. The only marine dinosaurs
Good
are
news,
penguins.
everyone!
Sounds solid, Mayor. We're having a diatom party, yeah. We keep getting raided.
Good news, everyone!
Amazing, and now we're getting a bunch of following. Thank you for all the follows. I was talking about this earlier. Oh, they're not dinosaurs? Okay.
Good news, everyone! Good Good news, everyone.
Oh, thank you for all those follows. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat, actually. Step 0, pond water is not for drinking. You gotta filter that stuff. Yeah, I agree. Don't drink pond water. That's always a bad idea. Oh, our lacrimarias climbed down here to the bottom. It's hunting for food. It's a predator. You probably don't think of little things like this as predators, but it is absolutely a predator. And a very hungry one, actually. They go searching for prey all the time. Their little heads that they stretch out, they leave their bodies in some place that's usually protected, and then they send their heads out for the food. And I was saying this before most of the raiders came, but if something takes their head off, like if they get decapitated, they just grow a new head. So, pretty cool strategy. And I think it actually just takes like less than a day, a couple of hours, and they can grow a whole new head. I saw one of these the other day. I saw two of them, actually. We're streaming from a different sample. And they were just sitting in a pile. Their heads were just whipping all around like crazy. And one of them got something and pulled it in. It was like big, you know, it's like a snake that swallowed something, right? It's like a huge lump in its throat, went down to the belly. Yeah, they're like noodles. They really are. Noodle-like. Oops. Sorry, I'm trying to drive upside down and backwards through the, screen. Hey, Tropical Geek! How did life begin? I don't know the answer to that. Unless it's a joke. If it's a joke, I might know the answer. I mean, the earliest life forms on Earth that we find are cyanobacteria, so... but, that's the ones that leave a fossil. What are the big rocks? Plant matter. Oh, yeah, that's just debris. This sample's got a little bit of... I collect this from... Oh, there's a cilia who's not moving. Let's zoom in on it. Oh, it doesn't need to move. It's got its little cilia spinning. You see that? Like a jet engine. It's just sucking in all the stuff towards its mouth. Right there. It's about to have company because the lacrimaria is coming in. It's also creeping in. See it? There's a whole bunch of stuff moving around right in here, actually. There's this other little ciliate.
Good news, everyone!
And then lacrimaria. And then this guy. And there's a rotifer up here. A long, weird, skinny rotifer. You can tell it's a rotifer because it's got little toes on a tail, but the tail's actually its foot. And it's got cilia in its front of its head, which is its corona, which is also how it pulls food in. Okay, I'm way behind. When did you say your SEM streams are Wednesday, from 1 until 3 Eastern time? And I'm planning on also streaming again from the SEM on Mondays, I think. I didn't do it today. I was too busy trying to get all my work for the week done, so I'd have it all done in one day. Hey, there's a little diatom up there crawling into our field of view. How's Sylvia? Sylvia's well? So this week on the SCM, we'll probably look at diatoms. I've been looking at pollen for the last 2 weeks. So I was collecting flowers and then shaking the pollen onto SEM stubs. So we knew which flower went with which pollen pieces, and then we were looking at the pollen. That was what we were doing last couple weeks on the SEM. I think probably for this week we'll just go back to looking at some diatom slides I have prepared, and then we might do some more like outdoorsy kind of adventure collection stuff coming up because the weather's starting to get warmer. So how does a turtle man not get sick from jumping into some of the nasty ponds and lakes? I don't know. Did I get specialty training for these microscopes? I don't know. I've been using microscopes for 25 years now. So, like regularly, and also I use microscopes for my master's work. So, I mean, just like tons of microscope skill and training. Looking at diatoms, they're microscopic organisms, so I only see them with a microscope. And this is my microscope from my lab, not my personal microscope, but I borrowed it from my lab. And something's jumping around over here. And I have 4 more actually, like similar sized and type microscopes in my lab. 3 of them are, this one and 2 others are basically the same. And then I have 2 more that are kind of like the one the Pacific plankton streams from, or exactly like them actually. Only one of them doesn't have a trinocular mount. So I've got a lot of background in microscope stuff and been using them for a long time. And that's also my personal camera up at the top. Oh, you can't see it, but that's my camera up there. This is a camera capture card just coming out of it. That's how it's set up basically. And this is a Leica DM2500. It has DIC lighting, 5, 10, 20, 40, and 100x oil immersion objectives. And this one actually does dark field as well. So, and my sample's almost dried up because I was planning on raiding somebody and putting it somewhere else. And there's a little tiny guy. A little tiny ciliate in a diatom.
Good news, everyone!
I was planning on raiding Pacific plankton. I was going to sneak out before people started raiding me, and then I got raided. So it's the time of night, you know, where people are tired from streaming. And I don't have an excuse because I actually have only been streaming for like an hour and a half or something, but amoebas scare you? Amoebas are cute. We were looking at amoebas for a while earlier. Just don't drink the water and you're fine. Yeah. I mean, some of those amoebas are dangerous. Oh, you know, that's how much it generated. They spin those little hairs around and they definitely pull it towards their mouths. So, I'm way behind on chat. Oh, how magnified is this? We're actually looking through a 10x objective. It's a 10x objective, and then it's coming in, it's multiplied 70 times into my camera, and then my camera also has a optical zoom on it, so it's kind of hard to get the math right, but where we were zoomed in, we were something like 200 times magnification. So, Amoeba is a great record store. Yeah, I think it's a great record store in, it's LA? Is that where Amoeba is, or is it Chicago? I think it's LA. I've been to an Amoeba Records before. I think it was LA. LA and San Francisco, yeah. I used to work at a record store, so I can appreciate when there's a good one. That's a rotifer that we're looking at right now, by the way. Oh, it just keeps moving. I'm gonna make this into a video game where people have to like use a microscope backwards, upside down backwards controls on a monitor while they're trying to like keep it in focus. And then we'll see. Then I'll be like, it'll be the first season I'll be champ, and then by 3rd season I'll be back in the Bronze League. Is it a different microscope? It's the same kind of microscope, but a different one. This is my new microscope, actually. Rotifers are weirdos. Absolutely. They're super weird. I just gave a lecture today about rotifers. Actually, I was putting together for Dr. Mo, my VTube character on YouTube, and I was talking about the reproductive cycle of rotifers. These kind, the planktonic rotifers, are they have what's called cyclic parthenogenesis, which means that they mostly reproduce asexually. It's mostly cloning themselves by laying eggs of more or less the same genetic material. And then
Good news, everyone.
when the environment changes to some conditions that are basically not good for them anymore, then the
Good news,
amictic
everyone.
females lay mictic eggs, and from the mictic eggs could spawn a male rotifer. If the egg is fertilized, it produces. If it's fertilized, it produces a resting egg, and if it's not fertilized, it produces a male rotifer that then fertilizes other eggs. So they have this sort of weird, sort of broken wheel structure in their sexual reproduction cycle. So they're most of the time asexual, but they have a little bit of genetic mixing in there every once in a while with the males, and they have sexual reproduction in those cases, basically. So like seasonally, they will jump to being sexual, and then only for one cycle, and then it goes back to being parthenogenic. But the resting eggs usually allow them to rest over the winter, so they'll have, sex a couple of times a year as a group, then switch over to that. There's that guy again, and he's also still building quite a current. You can see him spinning the little cilia on the front, like a jet engine. And everything around is being pulled in as a result of that. Like if we were to zoom out a couple of levels, all that stuff that you see moving, even this stuff out here and up in here, that's all being pulled around in these giant gyres by the spinning hairs on the front of that thing. All of it. If you put some tracer dye in there, you'd see it's coming basically around every time back to this guy. So just put a little bit of convection in there, and all these particles, even way out here, are being pulled in or around in that cycle. It's pretty cool. Do they know what they're ingesting, or is it anything that fits? A little A, a little column B. For these guys, they can reject particles if they get a piece of dirt and it's big and they know it's dirt, from the fact that it doesn't seem like it's food. They can reject it, but it's a lot more of it just kind of passes through, so they get lucky, basically. Oh, the colors. The colors are just because I have my I have the DIC contrast turned way up, and it makes it colorful. So I thought people would like that. It's a little much for me, but I have it set that way. A microscope simulator is a good idea. I think it would be hard. It's a hard skill. When you like science, you know about amoeba in dirt. Yeah, that's true. They don't have brains, yeah. Mayor Space is right. They don't know things, but they can go like, oh, that doesn't seem like food, and spit it back out. So, greetings from Chile. Welcome in from Chile. We're looking at this thing that I put on now is that's a ciliate. It's like a paramecium, but I think this is euploides. That's what Pacific Plankton told me it was, because it's got little walking legs in the back. It uses those spines in the back. Those are actually cilia that it uses to kind of walk around. Would any of these life forms survive if dried up? Yes. There's some rotifers in here. They're pretty good at getting dried up. The bedelloid rotifers are better than these ones. These are the, I can't remember what they're called. Monoga something or other type, the other type. Delaware rotifers just live on whatever, and they mosses, lichen, whatever. You can see the gyre going pretty strong now. That's cool. You wish you could eat pizza like that? If I recall, rotifers have a little brain. I don't think they have a brain. They might have a ganglion, like a set of nerves, basically. Yeah, it's going pretty good, Tropical. It's got the power jets running. You really can see it's like pulling stuff in. It must be happy. It's got it cranked up all the way. Yeah, they filter. It's doing a good job filtering. Why does it look like a magnetic spectrum? Because that's what happens when you spin two things. It creates this sort of magnetic field, right? It's because it's got like, it can only spin its little thing in one direction, basically. And so on the one side it spins one way, and on the other it spins the other. And it just turns it into a gyre, pulls it towards its face. If you could eat pizza like that, it'd be pretty cool. Just sit there and like turn on the jets, and then pizza particles would fly in your mouth. I'm on board. Yeah, I think you'd ruin the party. You'd be the party pooper if you were eating pizza like this. I feel like your friends would have second thoughts about inviting you to the next party.
Good news, everyone!
But if you're at home and you want to eat pizza this way, give it a shot. That's what I say. What could go wrong? You'd be happy. Spit out the anchovy. I don't think you'd be eating with your butt. I think that's its mouth it's eating with. You'd be full of pizza, among other things. Okay. Thank you for the stream. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us, Primero. You know, I think right now we're going to... Can we put a pizza sample into the microscope? I actually have pizza in the other room, but I'm getting ready to raid Pacific Plankton. So, because I'm her moderator, and without me, she has no moderation. Well, she's got Miss Bon. She's got Mama Bon Bon, probably. We're gonna go see Pacific Plankton. That's where we're going. And then I'm gonna be I'll go right into my job. Straight into my job. So, and you'll go right from one nice looking microscope with zooplankton and phytoplankton and whatever else that's in here, benthic organisms, to another. So if you like microscope stuff, just hang on, and we'll go right to see Pacific Plankton stream. And we'll take her, all of my exciting viewers will also get to see all of her cool plankton. So we won't be, you won't even notice, except for instead of my radio voice, you're gonna get her radio voice. So you won't even notice, probably. Yeah. Oh, you're double modding. Nice. Well, maybe we can narrow it down to just one channel for you then. Hey, Samshung. Hopefully also you'll find Pacific Plankton's voice nice and relaxing. So, alright, I'm going to be back on Wednesday. I might be back tomorrow night with some more pond sample stuff. And I want to thank everybody. Those raids were spectacular. And especially Paleontologizing and Mr. Horologist, but we actually had a lot of followers. Holy cow, we got like 50 followers tonight? That's a crazy number. We had raids for Mr. Horologist and Paleontologizing, and that's that.
and bringing all of your friends. Let me see if I can put my headset on here so I can hear the alerts. Oh my gosh, all of these really sweet. Here, hold on, let's see. I've got all kinds of new doggies. Lemur, and there was a monkey in there. Oh, Fin-Fam. Fin-Fam. Hey, Tropical Geek. Whoa! 300 peeps. Whoa!